Empty is a ransomware virus masquerading itself as a video game. But instead of locking your Microsoft PowerPoint files for money, it slowly siphons your life essence until nothing is left but an empty husk of a person. I can only imagine that this is where the title comes from. You might be thinking that this looks similar to Metro 2033 or Stalker, and you would be somewhat correct. Empty is in Russia and there are guns. This is where the similarities end, because Metro and Stalker are video games that people are capable of deriving enjoyment from. Empty is not a video game. It is a form of digital torture, and not even the most helplessly masochistic person could derive any enjoyment from it. Before we go any further, we should discuss what the plot of Empty is. According to the box, it says the year is the late 1950s in the totalitarian Soviet Union. The Russian future is looking bright for communism as leading Soviet scientists experiment to create a race of physical and mental superhumans who will spread the communist message throughout the world. But something goes horribly wrong. Most people near the experiment are killed, and those who survive have become mutated monsters who spend their nightmarish lives battling in the streets. As the only apparent survivor of this tragedy, you must fight your way out of hell as you try to discover the dark secrets of this once great city. This is not the plot of Empty. The actual plot is, the creator of Doom was forcibly lobotomized and had 3/4 of his brain mass removed. He is then forced at gunpoint to create the 2014 indie game Outlast whilst in a comatose-like state, with his only resources being a Macintosh Plus running a bastardized alternate universe version of the source engine that he can only operate by gesturing to his captors by nodding and blinking. The act of shooting things in a game is inherently enjoyable, and it is why the industry is dominated by shooters. The only thing you can do in Empty is shoot things. In theory, this should to some extent ensure that Empty, even at the most primal level, is enjoyable. That theory is quickly proven wrong after 5 minutes. The shooting in Empty is more reminiscent of throwing a clay pot in Zelda. When you aim down the sights, the reticle doesn't even line up with the center of the barrel. The levels are painfully designed and involve finding keys and flipping switches.
Come in! Come in! Come in! You gave them real hell! The trouble came from the city, yes! I'm telling you, the reason is there. Have you seen what is happening? It is they who are to blame, damned wise men. If we could reach their bosses, the city council, they would surely say what we must do now. The city council, yeah. And what the hell is this? Where? Here you go. Yes, give me your iron piece. Now it's working. You need to get to the city council. The elevator is... the only way out. Here is the key. There's a door in the yard. Use it. Go through the basement and the sewer and you'll reach the elevator. There will be a train. That's your only way of getting to the city. Help! You can make it. Hurry up!
Get some fucking dog in here! Come, fucking partner! Trying to process! Trying to process! Kill him, jump rope! Hard shit! Fuck I said, fuck I don't start shit!
Your enemies consist of laughably bad-looking men and women, as well as dinosaurs, and a miniature version of the dog from Half-Life 2. All of the enemy types look exactly the same and have no variation, so you'll have moments where you're fighting 20 of the exact same women, because the developer couldn't be bothered to at least change her shirt color, or even these guys in straitjackets that all have the exact same injury on the same leg. Everything is a flat texture. The back of the box claims that it has incredible graphics, ultra-realistic physics engine, and a sophisticated AI. These claims are fictitious, but I hope you could come to that conclusion on your own. God help you if you can't. I know some of you are probably thinking, hey Zooks, you're being too harsh on this game. It looks like it's at least a decade old, probably more. You would be incorrect. If we're to at least believe one thing on the back of that lying piece of a shit box, it would probably be the release date, which is 2007. Other titles that were released in 2007 include BioShock, Call of Duty 4, Halo 3, God of War 2, The Orange Box, Uncharted, and Mass Effect. If you still had any shred of an excuse left for why You Are Empty is bad, I could only hope that it's gone now. The only solace at the end of this long and agonizing journey is that this game will eventually deplete my soul until I keel over and die. I like to imagine that the developer will preside over my funeral, walk my casket over to its tombstone, and let me down one last time. I usually like to make some kind of an analogy to tie everything together, and with what little energy I have left, I will attempt to do it here. If you've ever been to a Chinatown, you've probably seen a plethora of bootleg knockoff toys that you can only assume were coated in a lead-based paint. You then might have played a scenario in your mind wherein a naive mother buys one of these miserable toys for her child, not knowing any better, not knowing that anything is wrong. The mother then gives the toy to the child, and his perception of toys is ruined forever. You Are Empty is that toy, my computer is the naive mother, and I am the poor child. Normally I like to give everything a score out of 10, or at least a range, but I'm not going to do that for You Are Empty, because doing that would give it some sense of dignity. To think that this abomination could be rated on the same scale as an Uncharted or a Grand Theft Auto is a transgression within itself. And so I can only leave you for a horrendously bad cutscene, and hope to God that you don't play this thing.